what's it called, check in and stuff like that. So I'm just putting it out there. The meetings are recorded. You're more than welcome to have your video on. If you want to just have your image or just your name showing up, that's perfectly fine too. There's absolutely no pressure to have to do that. So let's see, what time is it? It's 9:10. So I think what we could do right now is get started with the intros, because the class starts at 9, and of course, we only got a couple of students in right now. So before I even allow y'all to introduce yourselves, I'm gonna get into a little of my background and who I am and things of that nature. My name is Jonathan Cabrera. Jonathan Cabrera, how you gonna say it right? I tell my students you can call me Professor J, Professor C, Professor Cabrera. I rap also, so I let them know. Call me Professor Abstract también. Whatever makes sense, whatever works for you. And pretty much my background in criminal justice, like when I graduated from my undergrad in 2014, basically I was working in a halfway house out in Paterson, New Jersey. Anybody familiar with Paterson, New Jersey?
No. Oh, Patterson?
A little bit.
Paterson.
Is
familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Paterson is where Victor Cruz is from, who used to play for the New York Giants. That's where Eddie Wap is from. Baby, won't you come my way? Right? Like that dude. And so Paterson has a over 30% poverty rate, which means there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of stuff that happens there. I had worked at a halfway house. It was a typical halfway house because people can check in at 8 o'clock and then they leave at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, something like that. But still had to go in for 90 days, and unless work or schooling or something of that nature, they had to be constantly reporting to the halfway house and things of that nature. I did that work for a year and a half. I was there as a case manager. Basically, as a case manager, my job was to come up with a treatment plan for the different clients, because we work with people on parole and probation, but we refer to them as clients because technically we're providing them a service, even though in a sense they don't have a choice, right? It's either you come out and you do this, or you stay behind the wall and you just finish the rest of your sentence out. So but yeah, our clients, we used to provide them services such as substance abuse, rehabilitation, life skills training groups, whether it be parenting, employment, just learning a trade or whatever. And then from there, like, we would have to check in on the clients like once every 2 weeks, like have a meeting with them to basically see, how's the family life, how's your job hunt and your work search and stuff like that. So we continually had to reach out and establish that relationship and keep that relationship going. And what we would end up doing is, by the time that the 90 days was done, if they already had a job, and they provided consistent pay stubs and proof of income, or if they were going to school and they provided a schedule that they were following faithfully, then they pretty much completed the program successfully. Now, if they didn't, be up to the parole or probation officer to decide, do we want to violate this person and send them behind the wall back again? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're on parole or probation, you're under certain stipulations. And if at any point you violate any of those stipulations, like your joint could get revoked. You know what I'm saying? So I did that for a year and a half. I really enjoyed the work. It was rewarding. And then from there, and that was in New Jersey. From there, I went and I worked in the Department of Corrections over here in New York. And I was in Rikers Island. Y'all are familiar with Rikers Island, right?
Aren't they getting rid of Rikers, I've heard?
They're doing like a slow process of shutting down the island and shutting down the different facilities. But it's something that's going to take years, because at the end of the day, you're talking about the island itself has over 10,000 detainees. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even talking about the employees. You're not even talking about civilian staff, volunteers, legal, all that stuff. So it's going to be a very grueling process. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, because it's not really it's not it's not change friendly, I should say. You know, Rikers has been pretty steadily, you know, under the same reputation for like almost a century. You know, because Rikers, it was officially established like in the early 1900s, like in the 1920s, and basically Rikers was literally a landfill, and we're gonna learn about this when we get into the history. But Rikers was literally just like a land, you know, that got covered in waste and in trash and stuff like that. And so that creates obviously a lot of health and hygiene related issues. If you ever drove by Rikers Island or ever passed by it or even went in it at any point to visit somebody, you can testify or attest to this that the island has just one of the worst smells that you can just expose yourself to. You know what I'm saying? And so I worked there for a year at the Department of Corrections. I worked in the largest jail facility on the island because Rikers Island had over 10 facilities at the time. But I worked in the largest one, which was about 40 acres. That facility was half general population and it was half MO. Y'all know what MO stands for? Just take a wild guess. It stands for, it has something to do with like your thinking.
Oh, mentally unstable? Like mentally?
Yeah, you're around the ballpark. It stood for mental observation. So basically, at the end of the day, even DOC is coming out and acknowledging that, yeah, we have what you would consider your quote unquote regular offenders or whatever, but it's half of our population in this jail specifically, even though they haven't been diagnosed or they haven't been treated for it or whatever, qualify as people who maybe have some kind of mental illness or something of that nature. And so at the end of the day, even the Department of Corrections acknowledges these statuses of individuals. In AMKC for 6 months. And then when like for the rest of my time working in DOC, I got transferred to work in 3 different borough facilities. There's a borough facility in the Bronx, there's one in Brooklyn, and there's one in Lower Manhattan by the courts. So the one by Manhattan is literally 1 block away from the Canal Street train station, 1 or 2 blocks. And that one they call the Tombs. All right. So that pretty much tells you what you need to know about that facility. The one in Brooklyn is located on Atlantic Avenue, literally 1 block away from the Shake Shack. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that area, but out of the 4 facilities that I've, you know, worked in, and even just like hearing other correctional officers and their perspective, you know, having worked in other facilities outside of the ones that I've worked in, I think we all agree that the Brooklyn facility was the worst one, because when you walk in there in the daytime, like 8 a.m. or 7 or whatever time you get in there, the facility is already on lockdown. And you're talking about the facility only holds about 300 plus people. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, I mean, I'm not going to say whatever reason because I know the reason, but every time you walk in, it's like, it's a lockdown. And the lockdowns, they don't just last for 1 hour or half an hour or even 2 hours or whatever. They last for the whole day. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about from like 7 a.m. all the way to like 4 or 5 p.m. You know what I'm saying? And so Brooklyn just had a high rate of slashings. It had a high rate of, you know, just violent offenses being, you know, being provoked and stuff like that happening in there. And so that made for a very volatile environment. And then the last facility I worked at was BC out in the Bronx, C Bain Center. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Hunts Point, but this facility is located in the Bronx, deep in Hunts Point. You know, Hunts Point basically has like a whole bunch of factories and like it's kind of like very industrial. And so, what you call it, when you enter that part of Point, you see the facility and it's literally a boat. All right, so there's a jail It's actually a boat that's owned by DOC. And basically that boat is anchored onto the land. So, you know, it's almost like it was a building. What was that? So yeah, so basically that boat is anchored to the land, so it's almost like if it was a building anyways. So I'm not sure why they decided to make it a boat or why they decided to put people or keep people on the boat instead of building another building, but that's kind of what it is. So that's like the main things that I've done with criminal justice. I've also done work in the community regarding community outreach. I did some work in City Hall for about 6 months around there. Um, and yeah, like working with nonprofits, doing community outreach and trying to stop quote unquote at-risk youth from entering the system. Because one thing I've learned about the system is that once you touch it, it's very difficult for you to get untangled. You know, I know IG's been real hot recently with the keyword entanglement. It's a very difficult thing to get untangled from if, you know, you mess around with the criminal justice system. So that's a little bit about myself. Obviously, you're going to learn more about me throughout the semester, but I want to go around. I want everybody to give a brief intro as to who they are. And then basically, I'm going to dive into the syllabus. I'm going to dive into expectations for the course. And then hopefully, you know, we can try to end early today so that y'all can try and catch up with some material and stuff like that. And before I pass it off to y'all, the reason why y'all just started seeing Blackboard available yesterday and you started seeing the announcements. Right now, every single professor is going through a form of orientation. We're doing trainings on a week-by-week basis, making sure that everybody is equipped and enabled to be able to provide y'all quality courses, you know, not just for the but for the fall as well. So that's required a little extra effort. And so, you know, like my course has been, you know, what's it called? It's been ordered various times, you know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's course is being ordered at various times because it's something that we want to get right, you know, especially if we're not able to have that face-to-face interaction. Like, we need students to feel confident that when we put something on Blackboard, when we have it set up and structured for y'all, that it's just clear, it's pretty much straightforward in your face, and you don't really have to go digging to try to understand, like, yo, what does this mean? What does that mean? And et cetera, et cetera. So apologies for any delays with that or with the delays with that, but pretty much everything you need is on Blackboard. Of course, if you have any questions, you can ask at any moment, and we're going to get into the syllabus right after intros. So let's start off. Who would like to start us off? So basically, all you need to do is just, you know, what's your name, your major, actually, yeah, your name, your major, why you took the course, and then basically what is it you want to do in criminal justice if you're trying to major in criminal justice. So who would like to be our first volunteer?
I would.
Go for it.
Hi, my name is Edmund. My major is criminal justice, and the reason why I'm taking this class is because it is one of the necessary classes for my degree, and I also am trying to, you know, stay productive during this unusual summer.
Gotcha. And what is it that you plan on doing career-wise after BMCC?
Well, I was thinking about maybe going to John Jay, perhaps, and I don't know. I'm very interested in doing prosecution.
Okay, so at some point you plan on going to law school, basically?
I don't, maybe.
Okay, that's fair. Um, and so one thing that I want y'all to know is that even if you don't have a clear sense as to what you want to do career-wise, that's perfectly fine. I switched majors like 3 times in my undergrad, you know, and that's what I forgot to mention too. I went to a small state university in New Jersey for in Jersey City, New Jersey for college. I'm originally from Queens, New York. I lived in New York the first half of my life. Then I moved over, when I was like going into my teenage years because my folks moved us over there. And then I moved back, like in my early 20s to New York. But yeah, I switched majors like 3 times when I was in my undergrad. And then from there, I graduated in 2014 with my bachelor's in criminal justice. And then I went and pursued my master's degree at New York University over in New York. And, what I'm saying, that's pretty much what I got in regards to like the educational ranks and stuff like that. Let's go on to John, and tell me if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly. Peduto?
That's right.
Yeah, cool.
I'm also a criminal justice major. This is my last semester at BMCC. I'm taking corrections and criminal justice in the urban community for my last 2 classes. And then I'll get my degree and I'll move through the Justice Academy. I'll move straight into John Jay for the fall. So I get my associates next month and then start working on my bachelor's at John Jay also next month. So I've just been moving right along. I was I was in the military for a while. I was in the Army for a little under 6 years, from 2014 to 2019. Before that, I was at Penn State. So right after high school, I went straight to college and didn't really take it seriously. I just didn't go to class and partied, that old story. So I switched gears and went to the military. And then after I got out of the military, I'm using the GI Bill to help, pay for school and switch my major, switch gears, go the criminal justice route. I plan to use it for like more the operational side. And, my goal is like FBI, like field work and stuff, like going after the bad guys, so it's pretty much me.
Nice, that's what's up. And of course, that military background is, of course, going to come into play into just a lot of the orientation that you already need to gain once you're in the field. You already have that established. And, that's obviously going to give you a leg up in regards to just kind of knowing certain protocols and knowing how to go about certain things and what have you. So that's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. Let's go on to Wilfredo Bonilla. Let's get it, man. Talk to us.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Hey, my name is Wilfredo Bonilla, but you can call me Will. I am also an Army vet, about 10 years, 2005 to 2015. My major is criminal justice as well. I am trying to get my bachelor's. This is actually my last semester as well. So I will be going to John Jay, beginning in the fall. So like the only reason I'm taking criminal justice, I just need a bachelor's degree. I'm a military contractor now. I work overseas in Afghanistan at the embassy. So my goal is to try to get directly in the federal side, work directly for the Department of State. So one of the minimum requirements is a bachelor's degree. So like I waited too long to get back into school, but it's never too late. So that's pretty much me, man. I'm pretty friendly. I'm from New York. I live in Brooklyn, so I haven't been living in the city for the past 15 years mostly. And I'm a Giants fan. I know it's a whole pandemic, so going on, no football, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell, man.
Definitely appreciate it, man. And It's good to hear that, specifically yourself and John are coming with the military experience just to kind of add a perspective onto things as well. Because the main thing about class that, that I'm thankful for, like especially through grad school, right? Because I didn't experience this as much from my undergrad, but it's still important, is the ability to learn from your classmates. Because if anybody continues to go on for their higher education, like let's say they want to get their master's degree or whatever, like we want to see at some point the professor he or she is just there to facilitate conversation, but really you learn from some of your colleagues, some of your peers, you know what I'm saying? And so definitely make sure y'all network. One thing that I did with, that my previous criminal justice class for the summer did was they created a group chat on WhatsApp. Now, obviously, you're not obligated to join or put out your info if you don't want to, but if y'all willing and want to, start posting up your numbers in the chat over here on Zoom, and then somebody can create a WhatsApp group or whatever. So it's just an idea. Nobody has to do it, but it's just a way of like staying connected and communicating with each other in and out of class and stuff like that. Let's go on to, if I pronounce it correctly, Ikramu Hassan.
Yeah, that's me. So, hey guys, my name is Hassan. I'm from the Bronx. I used to live in Long Island. The reason I'm taking this class is this is the last class I need to graduate, and this is my last semester as well. So after getting my degree, I'm going to John Jay. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's dope. Do you have a sense as to like career-wise, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a cop. I'm on the waiting list right now. So it's gonna take like 2 years probably. That's what they say.
So let's go on to Damien Faulkner.
Hey, you all doing? My name is Damien Faulkner. A major is criminal justice, career I'm thinking about. I want to be a prosecutor. This is my second semester. After this, I'm moving on to my bachelor, thinking about going to John Jay's, God willing. So, and this is a prerequisite to my other classes, so it's mandatory. That's it for me.
Sure. And you say you want to be a prosecutor. Why prosecution specifically, as opposed to, let's say, being a defense lawyer?
Well, from my country, I was a cop, so I think that's the reason why I'm heading that route. The prosecutor, we analyze things and we could dissect and look further odds if we should really, charge a person that being like convict a person that charges being brought to.
Gotcha, that makes sense. And you say you're from which country?
Jamaica.
Okay, gotcha. Let's go on to Brandon Casas.
Good morning. My name is Brandon Casas. I'm a criminal justice student. The reason why I'm taking this course is because I have to, and because I just want to know a little bit more about corrections. What I'm pursuing after my degree, I really don't know. Probably a detective, cop, something around that area.
And like I said, just to reemphasize, if you're still figuring it out, it's all good, because the time, especially if you're like in your early 20s or whatever, like, a lot of times you get that pressure, like, late teens, early 20s, like you get that pressure, especially from parents. Oh, wow, you don't know what you want to do, this and that. But it's like, you could be 30 plus or 40 plus years old and you still don't say what you want to do, because especially in today's society, like you have to have your hand in more than one bag, so you probably can't even just focus on any one specific thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to consider all your options. It's good that some of y'all already have a good sense and a good idea, but I also encourage y'all continue to do research on other positions, especially like if you want to become like a officer specifically or correctional officer, because anything that has to do with civil service tests, because obviously those tests only come out so often, and then if you do take it, it's not the greatest probability that you're gonna call or that you're gonna hear something back anytime soon, or even in general. So um, for those things, apply for the civil service exams and for the tests that you want to take, but at the same time, be proactive in looking into other career choices. Other career choices and options in criminal justice. This is a very large field. There's so many different things you can do in it. You can be a policy writer. You can be a data analyst. You could get into law, as some of y'all have mentioned. You can be an executive, a manager, director, case manager, uh, psychologist. Create an app. Like there's so many different things that you could do and that you can get into. So just continue to open up your mind to different opportunities. Have your game, your, your A plan or whatever, your plan A, but at the same time, definitely think about having like a plan B to Z, in the event of anything. Because, obviously in a situation like what happened this year, for example, they like nobody's getting hired to become a police officer. So it's like, but there's still other positions in criminal justice where you still get hired, or you can at least still potentially, gain employment to whatever degree. So just something to think about. Next up, let's go to Garcia.
Hello. Hey everyone. So my name is Radamis Garcia. I'm a criminal justice major as well. My next semester, not this class, but my next semester, like the fall, it's gonna be my last semester, and then I will be transferring as well to John Jay to pursue for my criminal justice bachelor's degree. But at the moment, right now, I'm taking this class because I need to, but as well, like it's interesting because all the criminal justice classes I took was nice. Like I learned stuff. It was interesting. We all communicated, and everybody had different ideas about different situations that's going on in today society. Also, like my pursuit with the criminal justice degree that I'm gonna get with my associates is definitely to become a state trooper. I already applied. I'm in the waiting list. It's just that right now, because everything is happening, the recruitment is gonna stop for now until further notice. But I want to go up in the ranks, like from trooper to detective. So I'm really interested on that. And if anything comes up throughout the line, like I'm always interested in taking those opportunities to get more on knowledge and to be more experienced with with the field as well.
It sounds like you got a couple of different things lined up. So it's always good to think like that. But of course, continue to still see the other options, because again, these are unprecedented times. We don't even know how long this is gonna last for. So, what I'm saying? Especially if like you're getting closer to like the point of graduating, and what I'm saying? Once you go to John Jay, for example, 2 years, Sebasi, like it goes super fast. So it, like think of it like this. Like finish. Like it has to be officially declared like it's done. That can happen end of this year, early next year, who knows? And then on top of that, the economy has to rebound. So there's a lot of things that have to be taken into account. So that's why I'm gonna throughout the semester emphasize and push, look into different careers and stuff like that, because I know ideally we would like to go a certain route, but we always got to be thinking, what for the different what if possibilities and stuff like that. But that's what's up, though. Let's go to Thalia. Let's hear you out.
Hi, everybody. My name is Thalia. I'm a criminal justice major. This is, well, no. I have 2 more semesters left at BMCC, and then I'm going to transfer to John Jay. But I'm going to be changing my major to forensic psychology once I'm there. I'm also on the waiting list right now for State Trooper. I'm starting my own business right now, so juggling that with school and then the pandemic is kind of hard. Yeah, I mean, that's it really. I've always wanted to be a police officer, but I'm currently exploring different endeavors, such as being a business owner. And I want to get into psychology a little bit more and explore that. So, yeah.
Okay. Business owner over here. I see you.
Not yet.
Listen, man, just the thought of it though, like, because it all starts with the thought. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in law enforcement in general. I was saying, like, people have their hands in multiple bags because, especially if you try to live in New York, like, you just got to. It's not really an option. So if you try to look into it some more, like, I know they're programs and opportunities for small businesses here in New York and, just federally in general, specifically in New York. Um, if there's any way that, like, let's say if you have a Instagram page for your business or, a website or whatever, like, feel free to send that my way. I'll plug it, you know what I'm saying? Plug it on Blackboard, whatever, free promo. Just, support like that because at the end of the day, like, those are things that I like to hear about, that this is my main go-to right here, but I'm still pursuing this over here because I'm passionate about it or whatever. And what is it you're basing your business on? Or that you're thinking about basing it on?
Well, I want to open a juice bar. Like, I'm vegan, and I noticed, like, in a lot of, like, our minority communities, there's not, like, a lot of health food places that are, like, actual health food places. So I want to open a juice bar.
So, and especially with the minority community, one of the reasons why this whole COVID situation has affected the minority community so much is because it's just sloppy, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been taught to eat a certain way since we're young, so it's like by the time you get to, like, you know, like, you probably already got diabetes, high cholesterol, some kind of breathing issue or cardiovascular issue. So that's definitely a dope initiative right there. So like I said, if you need a plug or whatever, just holler at any moment. To Ariana Mendez.
So I'm a criminal justice major. Next semester will be my last semester at BMCC. And I'm also trying to change my major at John Jay to forensic psychology. I want to be a lawyer. I don't know what kind of lawyer yet. Yeah.
And just the idea of thinking itself is big because, right there, I tell you from my grassroots experiences, try to prepare as soon as possible for taking the test, the LSAT. Like, if you're not going for law, you usually take the GREs. If you're business, you take the GMAT. If you're going for law school, you got to take the LSAT. Give yourself at least a year to, like, get the LSAT study book, study it up, do practice tests, things of that nature. Because I can't speak for the LSAT specifically, but the GREs, like, if you're trying to go to, like, so higher ed, you got to take another test, almost like taking the SATs all over again. But the GREs was 4 hours that you sit down and you take a test, like, and you got to pay at the time that I paid for it, it was 2013, so I paid 180 for it. Right now it's probably over 200. So you're basically paying about $200 just to torture yourself. That's the way that I looked at it. But give yourself enough time to study for it because you're going to be busy throughout time. So you give yourself that time, not only for that, but to get your letters of recommendation. You know, any experience that you get, all that stuff. So, and of course, and this applies to anybody or everybody. If there's any way that I can support y'all, whether it be with a letter, or just like uh, out your different career options and maybe providing guidance where I can, I'm here to support y'all in that as well. So,
Okay, thank you.
so let's go with Isaiah Charles.
Hello, guys. My name is Isaiah Charles. Basically, I'm a criminal justice major. Also, I'm gonna take the stage. I'm a criminal justice major. Also, I'm an educator. Teach in school, middle school. Um, I don't really have any reasons as to why did I kind of got into school. I just kind of knew I had to get it done at some point in time. So this next semester is pretty much about last semester. So I'm done after this. I don't know exactly what it is I want to do, what it is I'm gonna go with that. But hopefully I find something.
That's what's up. And it's good that most of y'all are, or at least a good amount of y'all are like in your last semester, you know, because you won't get that money and just go on to the next thing. So I feel like to introduce yourself. Thomas, I'm not sure. I know we was emailing or whatever, but feel free to still give like a little brief intro of yourself. Thomas Olson.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So I work with the university and in the Office of Accessibility, and I assist a couple students. But I've been appreciating hearing our professor talking about branching career paths and keeping opportunities open, because I'm older than anybody in this room, and I've had about 100 different careers in my life, and they seem to keep changing all the time. For the last 20 years, I've been a photographer. Never imagined I'd be working at a school. I've also worked in prisons before, but on a volunteer level. So I'm excited about this class, though. I took a criminal justice course last semester. It was great. Nice to meet you all.
It's a pleasure. And you know, at any moment, you know, feel free to chime in as well and provide any input that is needed. Next up, let's go to Jasmine.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I took this. No, I never took this course. My major is criminal justice. Right now I'm taking liberal arts as a major, but criminal justice is the major I want. Next next semester is my last semester. I will be going to John Jay in the spring. I don't know what major I want to be in when I get to John Jay because I also want to be an FBI agent. So I gotta start from something little to get to where I want to be at. I'm 24 years old. And that's it. Yeah.
Dope. Let's go over towards Zed.
Hey, my name is Zed. I just moved here from Canada recently, and I'm taking criminal justice because it just interests me in like general, and I'm studying to be a criminal defense lawyer. So I'm finished BMCC at the end of the spring semester, and I'm not sure exactly where I want to go. I think John Jay is just like a fallback, but I'm applying to like other schools like Columbia and things like that, just hoping to, hopefully get in. I took a break for a little while, and I think it was a good thing because I wouldn't have been focused like back in the day. Um, so yeah, I'm just happy to be here, it's very interesting. So I'm happy to take this course and that it's even available for college students. So that's it.
That's what's up. And I think for me, you know, I was thinking like that, when I was, you know, so and the thing is, like, even not thinking like that early on, like, things still managed to work out. But that's the kind of thinking that I want y'all to all have. So obviously, everybody has their own circumstances, and everybody, they know why they can and can't do certain things. I try to leave the class or the semester with at the end of the semester is saying I can't think of myself going to this school or going to that school or whatever. Like John Jay is a dope school. It's specifically for criminal justice is one of the top schools in the country. I want you to think about going to schools that are even more, have a higher name than that, and maybe not for your undergrad. Obviously, if you want to, you can, but even if not for your undergrad, like think about going to that school for grad school because usually, like if you go for your higher education, like a master's degree or a law degree or whatever the school is that you went to for that usually overshadows whatever the undergrad school is for the most part. I'm not saying always, but in a lot of times it does. Because for higher ed, for your master's degree or for law degrees, you don't really get financial aid. The financial aid you get is loans. It's not the same as getting grants. It's not the same thing as getting a scholarship. The majority of students that go to higher ed, you got to take out loans. So obviously, if you're going to take out a loan, you rather, and this is just the politics of it. I'm not telling you this based on like my preference or anything like that. This is just like things that I've learned throughout the way, and I could only give you my perspective of things, right? Y'all got to do the research. Y'all got to do your homework as well. Um, but that school name, depending on what you're trying to do, it is going to matter in a lot of cases. When you see like some of the big executives, whether it be in the FBI or whatever form of law enforcement, a lot of them have gone to the Ivies or they have gone to like these top tier name schools or whatever that work in City Hall and you know that work in the White House, stuff like that. They've gone to these Ivy League schools, and so obviously, specifically with minority communities, they're very underrepresented in these schools historically. But I need y'all to start thinking about, okay, maybe let's say you don't even want to go for that because you feel like it's not something that genuinely interests you anyways. That's different than, oh, I'm just scared of applying because I don't think I'm going to get accepted. Those are two different things. But if you're scared of applying, like I'm going to need you, to start thinking differently because me personally, when I got accepted to NYU for my master's program, like I applied it as a fluke. Like I didn't even, and it's crazy because NYU is one of the top schools in the world. I didn't even know NYU until my third year of undergrad. So educated about college and what I'm saying, like I almost didn't even go to college out of high school. And once I took a field trip to NYU because of a program trip that we took, through a program that I was a part of, I got exposed to it. I'm like, oh, this is NYU. I never heard of it. It's crazy, right? Like I literally never heard of this living within the community for so many years. And basically once I learned about it, I'm like, after I'm just applying, you know what I'm saying? Like if I get rejected, I get rejected. I didn't expect to get accepted because I was banking on another school. And I got accepted by the other school, but then I got accepted by NYU as well for my master's program. So school, and that pretty much allowed me the opportunity to work for DOC. It allowed me the opportunity to intern at the mayor's office, and it also allowed me the opportunity to be a professor. And as soon as I was able to become one, I only graduated from my program in 2018 from grad school. So that name matters, man. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. The name, obviously, you can still finesse and you can still and get to where you need to get. But unfortunately, a lot of things are very political, especially in government, you know, and you want to make sure that you put in the work, but at the same time you're thinking strategically about things. You know what I'm saying? It's like the saying goes, be silent when the talent can work hard. But at the end of the day, if you got the hard work and you got the talent, it's like forget it, you're gonna be a whole different beast. And especially if you come from an underrepresented, you know, background, like this is this is basically what law enforcement needs nowadays in criminal justice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's overwhelmingly just one population, and so that's why in a lot of cases there's what's it called turmoil within the dialogues within the communication stuff like that. So trust and believe that if there's a person who comes from an underrepresented background and they got the talent and they got the education to go with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about just like a degree, but I'm talking about like an actual name behind the degree. It's like it's gonna take you places. And John Jay is already gonna do that. Trust and believe because it's a really good school. Um, Zed was saying like if there's another school that's even higher, you know what I'm saying? Just at least think about it, entertain it. Just flirt with the idea a little bit. Like, this idea is so fly, you so sexy idea, you know what I'm saying? I'm messing with you. You know, don't pay attention to me. Let's go on to Gabriel Santos. To Kaylin Castillo.
Hi everyone. My name is Caitlin. I just turned 21 3 days ago. My major is criminal justice, but I still haven't decided yet what area I want to be in. So yeah, I will decide. Yeah. Well, 1 second, I can't hear you. It sounds really like crunchy.
Saying happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
That's an accomplishment, you know, seeing 21 years of life, like that's big time right there. So more life to you, more success, and nothing but positive vibes towards your direction.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Last but not least, and then we'll see if Gabriel is here. Dacia Steele.
Hi, my name is Deja. My major is criminal justice. I have one more semester left, the fall semester, and then I'll be graduating. Um, Basically afterwards, I see myself going to John Jay, but I want to be a parole officer for the time being. And then after John Jay, I want to go to Homeland Security. That's it, yeah.
Apologies for mispronouncing your name. I mean that's dope that you already have like a general framework as to what you want to do and whatnot. So
yeah.
except for everybody, got any questions regarding career choices or some ideas off or even got questions about the course, feel free to reach out at any moment.
Okay, thank you.
Gabriel, are you there with us or not?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, my name is Gabriel Santos. I'm currently a criminal justice major student. I had 2 semesters left, and I expect with this class learn more to be a family lawyer. Hello?
And what kind of lawyer are you thinking about pursuing? Like what kind of law are you trying to?
Family lawyer.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what's up. Um, so welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to get to know y'all a little bit. just allowed Blackboard to be active yesterday, but were y'all able to get at least like a general look at like the structure of the course and how it's going to be set up and all that?
I'm sorry, I can hear you very good. Like it lags.
Saying they made Blackboard available yesterday, but were y'all able to get, you know, like a sense of the course, like at least just check Blackboard and look at what the
Oh yes, I checked it.
So may you tell us, like, us, you know, with our grades, you expect us to be on Zoom and involved in the class and may you tell me, like usually, like, do you have like what assignments usually, like how do you give assignments for us to do when it's not the class? When classes, you know, when, you know, not during the hours we meet, times we meet. You are breaking up. I only hear static. I don't know why.
Can you hear me right now?
Barely. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
This is better, yeah.
All right. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna share the screen and I'm gonna show y'all basically what the class structure is like. But my question before was, were y'all able to just at least skim or look through the course or not?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went over it.
Yes, I was able to.
Yeah, me too.
All right, cool. So basically this is how it looks like on Blackboard. Give me 1 second. There's the announcements, right? There's the banner. Here I put 4 announcements. These are the main updates that you need to know for the moment. Of course, any further announcements that I have, I'm gonna post them up over here. But for the meantime, these are focus on in the meantime. If you're looking at on the sidebar over here, there's different topics and subheadings and stuff like that. Under course information, that's where you'll find the syllabus. There's also a folder for recorded Zoom meetings. This is going to be where, for example, this Zoom session is recorded. So once it's downloaded and then I upload it on YouTube, I'm going to post the video right there inside the folder. What you need to know, basically, this is a synchronous class, which means that we're all doing it at the same time. Like you are logging into class at the same time as me and at the same time as your other peers and colleagues. The parts that are asynchronous are the readings and the assignments. So you do that before you come to class. Of course, the Zoom link is right there. My email is joecabrera@bmcc.cuny.edu. The way that the grading is going to be set up is participation is going to be a mix of you joining in on Zoom as well as your involvement in the discussion board. So on the left side, you're going to see that there's a discussion board. Matter of fact, let me put this to the student view. On the left side, you see that it says discussion board. So that's basically where you would click for that. The discussion board, you basically, I'm going to post up a spreadsheet today with the different topics, and then basically I'm going to assign people to those boards or to those topics. But once you have that topic, your responsibility is to do the reading for that topic specifically, which you should be doing the reading for all the classes, but you specifically should pay a little more attention to that specific topic. And then basically you're going to come up with your questions formatted like this and post it in the discussion board. And I would have already created the topics by then so that you can post them up. Reflection assignments.
Excuse me, Professor. So there's not actual a textbook, is there? Is it just you're posting all the material? You're providing all the material, or there's an actual textbook for this course?
This is a textbook-free class. So no textbook. You don't got to pay for anything. You already paid for your tuition. That's all that's needed. and pretty much all the material is available to you via here on Blackboard. So the reflections is basically going to be on one of the main parts of the semester. From now until the end of the semester, I just need you to provide me 10 reflection papers so that you can get the full 20 points for this specific part of the grade. Obviously, anything less than that, you're going to get points deducted. If you go over, I'll count it as extra credit or whatever. There's 18 assignments in total. That's including the final assignments, like the final presentation and the final paper. But apart from those two, there's basically 16. You don't have to do all 16. You could just do the 10. And then I'm also going to provide extra credit opportunities, like other assignments on the side. You don't have to do over 10, but if you want to, you can. And you can pick which specific topics you want to do it on. So if you want to skip, for example, tomorrow we're going to learn about the 13th Amendment and then Rikers Island after. If you want to skip the rest of this week and then you want to start doing reflections next week, or if you want to do this week and skip, 3 topics next week and then get back to to whatever the next topic is or whatever, you can do it however you want, as long as by the end of the semester, I have 10 reflections. All right. These reflections generally are 3 paragraphs, 5 sentences each. All right. So that's basically what it looks like in regards to the reflections. And it's double spaced, size 12 font, all that. Let me go back. Then you have the 2 major assignments, which you have the final research paper, which is going to be a 5 to 6 page research assignment due at the end of the semester, the last day of the semester. You're going to be talking about some aspect of corrections or an issue of corrections, and then you're going to provide a solution / alternative to it. We're going to get into more detail on that next week, but for now, just think about what topic you think you'd want to, get into in regards to your research paper. You're able to do your research on any of the topics that we're teaching or that we're covering this semester. But if for whatever reason you want to do something outside of it, like let's say, you want to talk about police brutality or something of that nature, and because it's not included in the syllabus, if you run it by me, I'm probably going to tell you, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be like in a way that you bring it back to corrections, because it's not a policing course, you know what I'm saying? So you would have to somehow bring it back to corrections in itself. So basically that's the final paper. Is 35% of your grade. I'm not really the craziest grader. I'm not looking to see if, if your paper is going to win the Nobel Peace Prize or anything like that. Like, I'm just here to make sure that you have a general sense as to what you're talking about, that you enjoy your topic, that you're talking about it passionately, and that you're, setting it up in a way where like everything makes sense or whatever. And basically that's the last day of the semester. You could do your research paper by yourself, or you could do it in a group of up to 4 people. But if you do it with more than one person, or if you do it in a group, which is 2 or more, whatever the grade is that is provided, everybody gets that. So there's not going to be any, but this person put more work and this, like, nah, like it's whatever the grade is, everybody shares that grade. And then that's the final assignment for the semester. But before that, and this is on the same week, so this is all going to happen on week 5. All right. In the beginning of week 5, we're going to get into presentations. So your presentation is going to be based off your final paper. In the outline that I'm going to upload for y'all, is going to say you need to do a 15-minute presentation, this and that. Really, you just need to do about 7 minutes, because, it's kind of difficult to do the presentations and to not have too many technical issues on Zoom. So to kind of reduce the gap of like, technical difficulties, and at the end of the day, you can provide all that information in 7 minutes, 5-7 minutes. that's basically what we're gonna do. So, but your final presentation has to be based on your final paper. And if you're working in a group, whoever you're working with for your final paper, that's who you're working with for your presentation as well. And that's worth 25% of your grade, which is probably the easiest part of the class, the presentation. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, you would already have your paper somewhat completed, and you would know a lot of what you want to talk about and all this stuff. So that's pretty much, those are pretty much the main assignments for the class. Do you have any questions specifically about that? Actually, before we even get into questions, let me show you more specifically as well, like what the reflections and discussion board is going to look like. So under course materials, you could click on weekly guide, and then basically under weekly guide, you see the 5 weeks. Okay, so you see right there, week 5 is only for presentations and the final paper. So let's get into week 1. So today we're doing intros. Your assignment for today, which even though I said this would be separate from the from the reflections, but your assignment for today would be to do intros. Literally, you could just click on intros, and then it's going to take you directly to the discussion board, where all you have to do is create a thread, and then you introduce yourself and just respond to a couple people or whatever. But for example, for tomorrow's class, we're going to watch the film 13th, but I'm going to tell you this in advance because I don't know what's up with Zoom. Like, Zoom is good for certain things, but it's not good for me showing you videos on my side. So what you're going to have to do is when you click on 13th, the full Netflix documentary is already there available. So what I'm going to need for y'all to do, if you want to do a reflection on 13th, but at the same time, I need y'all to do this anyways, just for the class conversations and discussions. You're going to watch the film. You're going to do that today. And basically, for tomorrow, if we can watch it and there's no issues, then we'll watch it. But most likely, it's probably not going to be able to be done because Zoom doesn't allow YouTube to show on your side effectively from my side. Like the audio, for example, just like ends up being very low. You can't hear it. So you have to watch it on your own time, so that way we can all come back tomorrow and basically have a full conversation and discussion on what 13th is about. So basically, this would be the assignment for tomorrow. You watch this. The reflection assignment is not due until the end of the semester, but obviously I would still recommend for y'all to just complete the assignments as they come, so that way you don't fall too far behind, or you don't fall behind at all, and you save yourself the time at the end of the semester so you can focus on your paper and your final presentation. All right, so you're going to need some time management to learn how to do all that or whatever.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Professor. So, the reflection. So this one for tomorrow. Let's say we watch the film on our own today, and we already started working on our reflection. Where do we submit the reflection that we complete?
So good question. So when you want to fill and complete the reflection, you just click right here where it says assignment 1, assignment 1, 13th.
Oh, there you go. Oh, got it. Yep.
And then, right there, I have a due date, but it's just to kind of help you, navigate, like to kind of help you pace yourself, But really, you don't have to follow that due date. I just need, like, the reflections, let's just put it like this. Get them to me by the first day of week 5, okay? By week 5, I need all reflections in. If you want to procrastinate, that's on you, but I wouldn't recommend it, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have a final paper and a presentation you gotta focus on. So, I left the due dates open ended because I know students struggle a lot to like balance everything: school, work, personal life, all that. I get it. I graduated undergrad in 2014. Like, I know what's up, and On top of that, we have a whole pandemic. We have coronavirus on top of us, you know, so it's like, it's going to be a difficult situation, you know, trying to keep up for some students. So, I have it open-ended, you know, but of course I still need y'all to submit them by week 5 so that way, that week y'all can just focus on presentations and your final paper.
So this due date that is just for, you know, to keep track, for the purpose of keeping track, but after the due date, it won't the assignment won't disappear, right? And then if we submit it by the due date, are you gonna be grading it by then, or are you just gonna wait towards the end of the course on week 5 to?
I'm gonna grade on a weekly basis. So
awesome. Yeah.
Like, depending on for example, if you submit your reflection for tomorrow and for Rikers Island, which is on Thursday, you know, I should have that graded for you by the end of the weekend. So I'm gonna be grading as you guys go along as well. You know what I'm saying? So, because I want to keep y'all obviously informed and up to date on how you're doing it in the class and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna meet y'all halfway with doing that as well, so that y'all have that confidence in what you're doing and all that. If at any moment you want to just go straight to the assignment, you already learned the video, you already was in class, and we talked about another topic, and you're like, okay, I already know I already know what's up or whatever. Right here on the side, you can also click on assignments. And basically, it's the same thing. It's the same exact assignment. So for 13th, if you click on it, it's the same exact assignment. Like, they're both linked together. It's the same exact link, but I have them in 2 different places so that, you know, when you go and actually pull up the course material, if you wanted to just click on the assignment right there, you could do it, boom. Or if you want to, you know what I'm saying, stall it out, you know what I'm saying, then you come back to it and you're like, okay, I learned a little more. You could just go straight to the assignments page, and that's, you know what I'm saying, you just click on the assignment and then it's available for you. That makes sense?
Yep.
Cool. So basically that's how the assignments will be. And like I said, generally they're 3 5-sentence paragraphs minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you meet that requirement and you answer the questions, it's pretty much an easy 100 each assignment. All right. So, because like I said, I'm not looking for nothing extravagant. I'm not looking for you to, you know what I'm saying, write me the next thesis that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, change the world or whatever. Like, I just need you to kind of just tell me what is it that you learned from the topic or whatever, and then answer the questions and stuff like that. And the questions are very specific, so, you know what I'm saying, you would have to look for the specific answers so that way you know how to answer it. So for the most part, they're pretty simple reflections. I haven't really heard too many complaints regarding them. So again, there's assignments for, wait, my bad. Let me go to weekly guide. So, you know, in front of each folder, you're going to see what the topics are, what the learning tasks are. And then, of course, when you click on them, you'll be able to see the different topics and then click on those. And then you'll be able to do the assignment and get up on the readings and stuff like that. So some are going to have more than others. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm trying to give you a whole perspective on the criminal justice system. I'm going to probably have also at least 2, maybe 3 guest speakers this semester. The reason I'm thinking 3 is because I always have 2 just to like keep it balanced, but I might do 3 because like now I have an additional person who might really give y'all a good perspective and a good sense as to what it's like being incarcerated, because I like to give it from both sides, the perspectives, right? From the side of people that work in the field, and from the side of the perspective of people that have been incarcerated and subjected to the criminal justice system as well. You know, because oftentimes professors or, you know, people that worked in the field, they only talk about it from their perspective, but it's like the people on the other side matter as well. The people who are incarcerated who, for example, may have gotten in for maybe selling a dime bag or getting caught with a dime bag of weed or whatever, like now, if they're in the jail during this whole situation, especially in Rikers, they might have caught COVID-19 or they might have been exposed to it. And now something that should be a misdemeanor offense can potentially turn into a death penalty. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these conversations are definitely needed. They definitely have to go down. And so that's why I try to get different individuals to provide different perspective on things, because ultimately you're going to have to get to know that side anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you work in the field, whether you're working in as a police officer, like on the outside, or whether you work as a correctional officer, parole officer, with people that already been, you know, detained or convicted or whatever, like, you're still going to come in contact with certain individuals, and you're going to want to know how the thinking process is, and how you can do a more effective job than somebody that, you know, is just thinking of it from their side alone. So, and then over here on the left, you have the discussion board. So far, there's a total of 19 posts, which is really good. Today, I'm going to post up the next discussion. So be on the lookout. I'm going to post up the discussion leader spreadsheet right here in this specific section. So in this specific section of Blackboard. So basically, once I post it up, I'll post an announcement for you just to let you know. But you're going to click on that spreadsheet. It's going to show you all the topics for the semester. And then under each topic, you're going to look for your name. Whatever your topic is, that's what you're going to focus on for your discussion in the semester. So whoever's going to be doing 13th tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Like, you basically got to get up on the film and kind of have a sense as to, like, what's going on. And then you come up with your 3 questions, and they could be just any general questions about the 13th documentary. Obviously, you know, don't provide no rocket science type of question like like, you know, what is the, you know, what is the specific act that allowed for this and that to happen in 1915? I mean, you could do that, but it's going to be harder for students to kind of, you know, get involved in that conversation. You might want to ask more general questions like, you know, why is there a racial disparity, you know, in the war on drugs in regards to, like, the white community versus the community of color, you know, in regards to, like, crack versus cocaine, something of that nature, you know, like when we get to the war on drugs, for example. So ask questions that people can generally answer, and that way it'll make it easier for everybody. So I'm gonna post that up today after we get off this session. So there's that. Then there's also this e-learning orientation right here. Give me a second. I mean, this is optional. You don't have to do it, but anybody that is unfamiliar with Blackboard or how to use it or whatever, of course, I recommend that you get savvy with it. You learn how to use it. This is the best way to use it, at least here available on Blackboard. If you do this and you get a certificate, then once you send me the certificate, I can give you a couple of points, you know what I'm saying, some extra credit for completing this. And then that way, you know that you know about Blackboard. I know you know about Blackboard, and then it's a couple extra points. So pretty much a win-win situation.
We emailed that certificate to you. We emailed it to you, or where do we post that certificate? Because I already did. I took 2 courses on the summer term 1, and I already have that certificate. But I have it on my screen. I took a screenshot of it. Do we email it?
You could just email me that, and I'm gonna give you the points for it.
All right.
Like, if you already took it and everything. So that pretty much is like some of the general stuff about the course, or at least the way that this course is structured specifically. I'm going to get into more details next week in regards to the final paper and the final presentation as well. But at the very least, start thinking about a topic you might want to do it on. You know, and I think that pretty much is most of what goes down here with Blackboard. If you need to access my information, like my email, you could click on faculty information, My email is available there. If you want to see my office hours, or if you want to request office hours, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? And we can set up an appointment to just have a Zoom session and whatever. Of course, right there's my bio if you want to read it or whatever. But that's pretty much it. It's gonna be a pretty smooth semester for the most part. Very straightforward in a lot of senses. But like I said, if you got questions or comments, concerns, you could feel free to let me know at any moment. So I'm gonna open it up to some questions, comments, concerns.
What do you, so the film 13th, you want us to watch it, or?
Yeah, so for the film 13th, I need for y'all to watch that in advance. So once we get off the class today, I need you to click on that link. It's gonna take you to YouTube and on the Netflix page of YouTube, and then basically you're gonna watch the documentary. It's like an hour and some change, like an hour and a half around there. So you know, the sooner you get to it, of course, it frees up your day or whatnot. But it's a pretty interesting film. You know, of course, you're gonna hear some anti-Trump rhetoric or whatever, but it's like the main thing that I'm trying to give y'all is not the politics, but just to help y'all understand policy. You know what I'm saying? Because they touch on both sides of politics, on the Republican and the Democrat side, and they show how both sides have really done damage to communities of color in regards to the you know what I'm saying, the mass incarceration situation that we're facing and all that. So just after we get off this class, you click on the link, watch it, and then by the time that we get to class tomorrow, we're gonna get into the discussion and the conversation.
So you want it, so it's like a page, double-spaced reflection?
Yeah.
And you want it's due tomorrow?
No, it's due by week 5, but I have the deadline for next week just to help keep y'all on track, but you don't have to submit it next week. It's just, you know, it's better for y'all to submit it sooner than later, just so you can focus on the research paper at the end of the semester.
So
Say it.
So you want to do the discussion board and answer it, and what, you know, try to start getting the video, watching. How many of these is, so just it seems like, you know, it seems like you have a schedule of what we should do by a certain time, right?
And this is going to be a schedule just for the sake of like helping everybody stay on track. You don't have to submit the reflections until week 5. Now, basically, you're just working, you know, getting up on the readings, on the videos, things of that nature. So that by the time that we get together for class, pretty much it's just conversation time. You know, we're talking about it, learning about it, but pretty much it's open dialogue because y'all already would have done the readings and the writing, the readings and the videos already.
So there's 18 assignments. So so like for the assignments, like except for the research paper, you know, do a page and, you know, double spaced, and, you know, and 5 sentences for at least for each paragraph. Yes? I can't hear you. All right. Thank you.
Have any other questions, concerns, comments? Pretty straightforward. hopefully y'all get the gist of like the structure and everything. Feedback. Yeah, you know, saying just so I know that you guys are clear with this.
I understand the gist of it.
It's clear. I understand.
Clear, clear.
Okay. So since this was the intro, pretty much, you know, I think we covered most of what we needed to talk about. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to stick around. Say you can dip out. One thing that I always do with my classes, and Jasmine can tell you this because she was in my previous class as well, is I always end, well, I always start the class, I think, yo, ended out with saying, yo, as well. So when we go on the count of three, saying you're at the same time. All right, especially if you're from New York, you gotta just know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not about to negotiate whether you know how to you're or not. Like it's in your blood. All right, so on the three, I need everybody to give me.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be a continual thing. I'm not gonna stop doing that. I do this in my classes. I'm even more live in my classes, but you know, I can't see faces and all that, so I can't really vibe as much. But we're gonna continue to have that energy. You know, semester we have some laughs and conversations and all that stuff. So it's definitely a pleasure to meet all of y'all. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to reach out at any moment. I didn't do it today, but I can provide you like, you know, my other info or whatever, like IG or you know what I'm saying? Because this is a different time, like I said. Everybody got to figure out how to make it work for themselves. Guess also tomorrow we can in the group chat or in the chat section, everybody can put their numbers. Somebody wanted to create a group me account. So everybody stay safe. If you got any questions, I'll stick around for a couple minutes. But I'll catch you tomorrow, right?
Right. So
All right.
the discussion, and I will. It seems like the assignment that's first due is the assignment 2 because I see you have all sorts of different assignments.
For the discussion, if you're the discussion leader for a certain topic, you only have to respond to that one discussion. Or I mean, you only have to facilitate that one discussion. Every other discussion, you're basically responding to. So like, if somebody else posts up a thread, let's say about Rikers Island, then you would be just responding to them. Like if they ask a question or like they asked you 3 questions, you would respond and say, "Oh, this is what I think about this," and blah blah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The same thing you would do in class, but you're just doing it on the discussion board.
And also because of this coronavirus crisis, is the flexible grading policy applied to this class still?
Well, like I said before, I'm going to be pretty flexible because of the situation, but I'm also flexible in general, anyways, because I already know college is not a easy, you know, it's not an easy accomplishment, especially if you're coming from a certain background where like you have to work or you have to take care of family and stuff like that. So I try to be as flexible as I can, regardless. So
Thank
if you have any issues throughout the semester, I would say reach out sooner than later because it's going to be a pretty quick semester. But I'm sure we could work some things out.
Thank you.
So everybody, I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. I'm still stick around for a little bit, but if you ain't got no questions, feel free to, you know what I'm saying, just start watching that video and you know what I'm saying we'll catch up in the AM.
And we will get more information you'll give us about the research project next week, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
All right, everybody, I'm out.
Hi, what's up?
Good one. Take care.
Can I,
All right,
I was
have a
gonna
good one.
end it in a few minutes.
Sure.
Bye.
Have a good one.
I'm gonna give it like a minute or two, and then finish.
Wow.
So the class is
The only problem.
Did you say was the class over? You said for today, and start looking to video and get an idea of what you wanted, how you're going to answer it, and all right. And I'll do the also the discussion board. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
You too. Guys, I'm gonna close out. Stay safe in the meantime, and if you got any questions, feel free to email me with any questions or concerns. All right. Have a good one.